Welcome to the Puff and Run podcast show, your number one source for news and information about marijuana and running, the latest updates on the 420 cross-country team, and races around the nation, and behind-the-scene details on the Puff and Run TV web series production schedule. Bringing you all and more, here's your host, the Vegas 420 runner.
It's the Puff and Run podcast back in your life. We're here recording at our fabulous Las Vegas studios. It is July the 12th, July 12th, and it's been at least 2 weeks since we've last recorded. For our hardcore listeners, you may know that episodes 13 and 14 just recently came out. Right before this episode 15, I believe. And so, but they had been put on pause for a little while. I've been doing a lot of stuff with my new job, which I may get into a little bit later on the show. Anyways, I want to inform the audience that my co-host, Mr. Run to Improve, he is not with us today, but we will be talking about him later on in the show when we speak about the most recent race done by the 420 cross country team. Definitely he was a part of that, a big part of that. So later in the show we're going to be talking about the major changes that have been taking place since July 1st, once recreational adult use came into effect here in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're going to be talking about some of the prices, about the DUIs, the public use, and an upcoming shortage, or a shortage that may already be here. But before we get to that, we're going to do it a little bit different this time. We're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about some of the races. I got some of the runners here that were with me at the race, and the race that I'm talking about is the 3 Degrees of Hell, hosted by Triple Dare Running Company. And they had a race series. 7K and 7 mile were the two options, and that took place Friday night, Saturday morning, and Saturday night. Two members were able to go on Saturday, and we had one that was doing Saturday, or actually I guess we could say two that was doing Friday night and Saturday morning. So I have two of them here with me now. Matthias 585, who you guys may remember from episode 10. If not, go back and check that out. He gave a lot of information in that episode. And we have somebody new here, a new member of our team. Our first racing female of Las Vegas. Okay? Becky is in the building. And yes, please introduce yourself, guys.
I don't know what to say, man. I'm Becky. I've been a big fan of this movement ever since day one. I mean, I've been a smoker, I've been a runner. You know, it's the perfect fit. I did 2 of the 3 races, both of them the 7 milers. The first one was on Friday night, started at 7 p.m. It was out in Bitter Springs, which is we're at by Valley of Fire.
Now, how dark was it at the start?
It wasn't, it was bright, it was sunlight, and it was 118 degrees.
Okay, 118.
On the way out to Valley of Fire, yeah, it was just insane.
118, okay.
Yep. Course, all uphill, 3.5 miles uphill.
Oh gosh.
On rocky trails, it was brutal. Coming back in, the race led into a canyon. Into the canyon, I definitely biffed it. Took a pretty hardcore spill, but I managed to finish it. Probably mid grade. I mean, it was pitch black about halfway through the race.
Oh.
And
so you had your headlamp.
I had it, but I didn't use it.
Oh, you didn't use it.
Yeah,
okay. The moon that night.
No, I was just passing people.
Okay.
So I kind of got my second wind, once we started on the downhill on the way out.
No, it was an out and back.
It was an out and back. Yeah,
okay,
3.5 in, mostly up through like a Jeep road, and then it kind of got a little more technical going through a canyon.
Okay.
So maybe about a mile into the canyon, and turn around and head back out.
Now, what was the name of that location?
Bitter Springs.
Bitter Springs. Yeah, I wanted to get out there. See, now, initially, if anybody looks at my schedule or that knows me personally, they'll know that I had intended to do all 3 7-milers. That was like my, I thought, hey, 7 miles, that's my thing. I'll just do that, And that was my initial intentions. You know, I did get caught up with work, so I wasn't able to get out there to Bitter Springs. But
you missed a hell of a good time.
Yeah, I know, it sounds like a lot of fun. Now, you know, our co-host who's not with us today, Sway, Mr. Run to Improve, he also did the 7 mile out there at Bitter Springs.
Yep, I saw him out there.
He finished up at about 2 hours and 5 minutes, and then, you know, which is, I'll just being out there 118 degrees.
It was rough.
For those that don't know, for the like new listeners and stuff, Mr. Run to Improve is a weight loss long distance runner. So go check him out on Facebook and Instagram. Run to Improve, Mr. Run to Improve, and check out his movement that he's got going on with the weight loss stuff. So he was out there. It was about 2 hours and 5 minutes on that first one. And then he was determined to turn around and do it again. Now, initially he told me he was doing 3 7Ks. And this is what he does. This is what he does to me. This is what he does to me. He told me he's doing 3 7Ks and all this stuff. And in the past episodes we were talking about his preparation. And then all of a sudden, for me to find out that he's pulling these kind of moves, like kind of suddenly and stuff, I'm like, okay, should I be alarmed? You know what I mean? This is my homie. It is super hot in the desert. You know what I mean? He's going to be out there for a while. And so I'm asking myself, should I be alarmed? You know what I mean? This is my co-host. He's valuable to this show, you know? So, but yeah, so he smashed it in that first one too, so.
Yeah, and you know, shout out to these guys at Triple Dare, because they had such good volunteers out there on the course. I mean, they had people driving up and down the road in pickup trucks, just spraying people down.
Yeah.
You know, they had tons of water out there, so they hooked us up, and you know, they treated us right at the end.
Oh yeah, Triple Dare knows how to do it.
Donuts at the end, frozen towels at the end.
Yeah.
So it's the best thing ever.
Orange slices.
Mm-hmm. They had a frosty machine out there for the night race.
Oh man.
So they had that at the end.
Ooh,
Like,
I'm jealous.
it was so dope.
Yeah. So the next day, now this is a big side note where I want to just definitely give a salute to Evergreen Organix, because they wanted to make sure that the team was hooked up and that we were on the scene. You know, that was a big, you know, and able to represent. You know what I mean? And so they were able to come through. So that enabled us to compete in the daytime race and have more people represent. And if you guys go and look on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that, you'll see pictures of our gear and us in the gear. And I took some pre-photos. I don't know if you guys seen those, like with different, you know what I mean, layout or whatever, still life or whatever you want to call it, you know. And not to mention, we're at the 7 minute and 5 seconds in Kevin's video on YouTube. Is it Kevin Youngblood?
I think it was Kevin Youngblood's video.
But is it on his YouTube? Do you know?
His YouTube.
No.
His YouTube.
KevLv. Wait, what is it?
KevLv Runner?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's KevLv Runner.
But we're gonna put the link under the podcast. But just look up KevLv and running into YouTube. I'm sure it's gonna come up. Look up the Triple Dare video. Go to the 7th minute, and you're gonna see we get featured in there for a hot second. All right. Yeah. So check that out, and we're gonna get you the proper the YouTube channel later on in the show or in the next episode. Definitely, he puts out a lot of good videos. I subscribe to that YouTube channel. You know.
I will now.
Yeah.
Now I know.
Yeah, and so I subscribe to there, and so yeah, shout out to Evergreen Organix putting us on the scene. You're gonna see the gear in the pictures and stuff. We had the black with the green on black. Normally when we do the cross country stuff, a lot of it is on like a white shirt. So it was interesting to see how this came out with the black shirt. You know what I mean?
It looked clean. It looked sharp.
Yeah. And you had the
burnout tank.
Yeah, the burnout tank. Oh man, that was looking official. You know. Yes, and so we got out there early that morning. Matt.
Yeah. You invited
Matthias
me.
585.
585 on Instagram. Enjoy the harvest.
Enjoy the harvest. Yeah.
Amazon.
Let them know.
Episode 10. But yeah, you know, you invited me, and I said, all right, let's do it. And you know, I don't even like running, period. But I'm an active guy, and I love cannabis. So it's 2 for 2. but I've never done any trail runs. So this was my first trail run.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I never, and to be honest, I never even been on that side of Clark County. You know what I'm saying? I've been to Lake Mead.
I had to get you the coordinates to.
Once you said coordinates, I felt like I was on a mission. I was like, I was in a military mission.
Military background started kicking in.
Exactly.
All I had to do was say coordinates, and you were just
absolutely
tuned in and on scene.
On scene with a doobie. You know, we got to indulge a little bit, get you know, fine or tuned up, I should say.
Nice and relaxed.
Nice and relaxed.
Nice and chill for this.
Got my music ready.
Very chill.
Got my music ready. Oh, you know, and honestly, I'm not into this whole scene, but this scene is very inviting. Everybody is real nice. Everybody's indirectly looking out for each other. You know what I'm saying? Especially at the end, you know. Yeah. They're giving you wet towels. They're making sure you get in the shade, you know. And I really love it. I love that camaraderie because that's kind of like the military. Military was, you know, similar to that. But yeah, I ran the course. Like I said, I never done trail running. But it was dope.
It's so much better than the road. Wouldn't you agree?
You know what? Like I said, I think, and this is like a weird thing to say, because like I said, I don't like running, but at a certain type or a certain point in like moving like that, you get hot. You start grooving out. You start moving.
Yes.
You start to get a little clarity. You can think a little bit better, and you can figure shit out. I was driving home like, all right, this is what I gotta do. You know, and I got you know, this was troubling me a little bit, but you know, now I'm comfortable with addressing that issue.
Yeah.
But so that's where I'm at with running. Period. I don't care if it's on the moon or it's in the, you know, back of Sunrise Mountain.
Okay.
But yeah, I enjoy myself, and I was gonna say I like to see like the whole diverse, like the human race out there, black, white, old, young, children. I mean, it's just like I said, it's almost. I had no idea about this running shit. Yeah, it's a community.
The scene is legit, and you know, it doesn't matter, you know, who you are, your size, your age, like what you do for a living. Like everyone is just so united out there, like for like common love, you know, for the trail, for the sport. Just
it ain't always like that everywhere. That's why we're lucky in Vegas. Like it's so cool, you know what I mean?
And in Vegas, like the big deal is the trail scene. Like I mean, even the road scene is not like the trail scene.
Yeah,
like the trail scene here is
represents.
Trail
I had no idea. Well, I mean, where's the road scene? I mean, are they like
not as involved? Like not you don't have that deep camaraderie, because that's where I come from is road. So the trail fam is a new thing for me, and I love it. I'm hooked.
Yeah. So the trail is better than the road,
The scene, like the scene is just on point. You can't even compare the two.
Yeah. You can get any level of training too in Vegas. I feel like with the, you know, most levels of training you can find here in Vegas on the trails, you know.
But you know, it's interesting because I did a trail run this morning, and just in that one group, you have like elite ultra runners, you have, you know, kind of middle runners, like, you know, like
a first time person,
people walking half the time, you know, and everyone is just so super supportive and encouraging. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, a lot of times when I go to a training run or a group training run or something, there's always like a first time person that's like, oh, I've never came here, I just saw this on Facebook or whatever.
And everyone's just so chill and just so, you know, open arms. Like it's dope.
Yeah, I had a great time. I mean, it was kind of you know, an ambush, but I'm down for it. I was like I said, I was grateful. Before driving up there, you know, I would get a little bitchy, but like I said, afterwards I felt amazing. Like I said, it was a new venture. For me, it was just new, you know, new part of town, new experience with new people, and just riding like down the trail, you know. And I've done the Stash Dash. I've done other things.
Stash Dash.
Yeah, it's like a little. It's not a trail run. It's a what you use it
like
road?
Relay?
No, it's a road.
A road race.
Yeah, it was a road race, but it was for like a good cause, you know. I forget what it was. And I you know, it's called Stash Dash. You wear like a little stash. It's
mustache.
Yeah, mustache.
Okay.
I think it's like.
Because I know, was that at Sunset Park?
No, that was over by Fremont.
I know Mr. Run to Improve has a video about the mustache dash that he did.
Yeah, I was the one that had the baby in the carriage, and I ran that bitch straight up. It's like flexing on, because you know how I do. Like if I'm gonna do it, I might be a little, you know, disgruntled at first, but once I get in the motion, I'm gonna crack bones and I'm going for heads, you know. And so Yeah, at that race, literally, I was about to yak at the end, but I pushed my daughter the full way. She was like 6 months old. Oh, heavy butt.
Oh,
I love you, Vivian. Shout out to Vivian.
All right, nice. Got her out on the course at a young age.
Yeah, but it was cool. Like I said, I'm not into the running stuff, but I'm active, and if I have people that invite me and they're down with cannabis, which I'm totally for, then I have no excuse not to, put these feet in motion.
Yeah. So now. And I'm glad you mentioned that, the cannabis part. Now, a lot of, with the cannabis part, have you guys seen my jersey? I had the cannabis leaf on the back. Did you guys see that?
No, I didn't see it.
Okay, so I got the cross-country branding logo on the front.
Yeah.
And I got it says Vegas 420 runner across the shoulders.
Oh yeah, okay, I did see
and then underneath it is like a picture of a cannabis leaf, and I think it's like a CC for cross country. So those was like that was like a rough earlier version of the brand, kind of branding or whatever, while I was building up the logo and stuff. Which I just want to let our audience know, the logo competition is still on. We are still accepting submissions for the 420 cross country logo competition.
What's the winner get?
The winner gets 2-year membership to the team.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Awesome.
2-year membership to the team. So you definitely want to get joined in with that. Make your submissions, and it could be. And this is the thing: we're gonna show all the submissions. So even if the winners don't get accepted, we still want to recognize everybody's art and creativity and stuff like that. So we do plan to show them at some point the different submissions that we're getting in. But that's still going on. But anyways, I was thinking like that pot leaf on the back, a little bit, of course, that symbolizes the target. You know what I mean?
Good.
Because a lot of people don't want to get beat by the.
Good. They better hurry up, because I'm not going to be cramping up, because I'm hydrated, because I'm conscious of the health alternatives. That's why I choose cannabis.
Yeah.
So you can get mad if you want to, but hopefully you get mad enough to research something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do your due diligence. Don't act stupid.
Yeah. Exactly. And so and as much as it's also like a target to pull people to try to get them to pass you up, but also a lot of people now kind of seemingly more so after July 1st, I feel a little bit. Even though it was like I feel like after November 8th there was a clear change, I felt like, in the running community. After November 8th, after the vote went through, and especially after July 1st, these are certain markers in time. November 8th was when the vote was, we recognized that Recreational was going to be coming to Nevada, and the vote passed. Okay, July 1st is when the laws or things got put into play where you won't get in trouble and stuff like that. But there's just no sales. And January 1st. Yeah, January 1st. January 1st is when the laws got put into play, and then all the way till July 1st when we can make our first purchases and stuff like that for rec users. So with using that timeline, I can see differences in the running community from November 8th to January 1st to July 1st. And that was my first race that I've done since July 1st. And, I felt like people were like,
I saw a dude with some cannabis socks.
Yeah.
I don't know who that guy was.
Shout out to Mountain High Adventures.
Is that him?
Yeah, shout out to Mountain High Adventures.
He killed it.
Yeah.
And then, it's already kind of, they invite that stuff. There's a guy drinking a beer afterwards, so,
yeah.
I don't know.
You guys.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so I had an amazing time, and like you said, I felt welcome there, and especially Triple Dare did and part of it was, could you guys help me remember what the connection was to the veterans? I know there was like a poster where people were signing. And so,
I saw the poster, but I don't.
It's like
it must have been proceeds that are going to some type of veterans.
And then there was the flag. We took pictures by the flag. And,
see, that's what I'm saying about inviting. Maybe why I'm a little biased, because I was in the military. So just seeing that, in the race, already had my mouth watering. Like, oh shit, they're speaking right to this devil dog. So, but I don't know what the direct connection was, but I know that the veterans were represented, because I wasn't the only one that signed that little, I don't know.
And they had an announcement in the beginning of the race too, for like all veterans to kind of raise their hands.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And they did a little shout out to them.
Yeah.
Much respect, and that's what I'm saying. I'm honored to participate in something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, overall it was an amazing experience. Side note, Mr. Run to Improve, he finished the second 7-mile race that morning. That day, he finished in 2 hours and 6 minutes. You know, you can go find out more about that. Check out Mr. Run to Improve on social media. So that was 14 miles altogether.
Man.
You know, he did the previous night and 7 that day.
You gotta be skinny tomorrow.
Yeah, so he's doing his thing. He was out there doing it, and he came in, and it was a lot of hard work, and I could tell, you know.
Salute.
So yeah, definitely salute Mr. Run to Improve. And none of us, nobody from the squad went to the Saturday night event this year.
No.
So yeah,
hopefully I had signed up for it. I was supposed to, but I had to sacrifice the race. I figured after 14 miles.
You're good.
It's a tall order. That's definitely a tall order.
I couldn't do it.
Now there is another race series Triple Dare has coming up later this year, and you know, hopefully I'll be able to do, you know, the entire series, you know. And we'll be talking more about that here in the future. I wanted to, while I got you guys here, I wanted to chime in on this new day and age. The last time we recorded an episode was before July 1st. This is our first episode ever since July 1st. Everything has changed.
You mind if I load a bowl?
Yeah, go ahead and load a bowl. And there's been a paradigm shift.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a paradigm shift. You know, I was telling somebody, you know, in my job the other day, look, you know, they're gonna, you know, I work with a lot of tourists. I was telling them, look, they're gonna be, this was before July 1st. On July 1st, recreational marijuana is gonna be legal here. And they said, oh, it's gonna be even more turned up, you know? And I was letting them know, well, really? It'll be a little less, because like the alcohol gets people kind of super turned up, where you take some bud, you know what I mean? So
you're just chilling.
Yeah, Vegas might be a little more chill, you know, going that direction as opposed to being more turned up. And so I'm glad I got you guys here. As you guys know, Matthias 585, cannabis cultivator, you know, and all that, and
I don't, but
cannabis
aficionado,
yes, aficionado Becky here. And so yeah, guys, there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about. Let's just go with the first one, obvious. First things first, the pricing and stuff. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to check out any of the pricing.
I've seen that it's really jacked up for rec users.
It's a little bit more. Tax comes into play. Now, you know, initially, I don't know if anybody saw this, but as usual, the media did some little, you know, funny stuff right before this.
They're very funny.
They did some funny stuff right before this went down. I seen a little graphic, right, that was spread across kind of the social media, and it was saying like, you know, $80 for an eighth.
Oh, I did see that.
You know, it's like a little funny, and it was on the news or something, and people were sharing it like, can you believe this? They're ripping us off, $80. And so I was like, dang. And so, I mean, I work in journalism and media, so I should have been a little like less gullible or something, but I was like, damn, 80, because I thought they went and like did their due diligence and did their research.
Yeah,
I thought they went to go talk to some dispensary person and was like, yeah, it's gonna be 80 for rec and da 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 da, and kind of I could see that reality in my mind prior to, like, if it's gonna be 80, because people pay $1,000 for a bottle of vodka. To go sit at this table, get a bottle of vodka, that's $1,000 right there. So they'll pay 80 for an eighth.
And I want to add real quick, because 80 an eighth is a little disrespectful. And I would say even more so to veterans, like we were talking about, that need it, medical patients, and all those other people that really, really, really need it. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, so that was propaganda.
But
the 80 was propaganda. The 80 that came out in the news.
And honestly, if you're bitching about regulated, tested cannabis, and you can have choices when it comes to it, take a step back, you know what I'm saying, and realize how fortunate you are, you know, number one. And number two, if it's that big of a deal, get your medical card.
Yep.
And you will not have that problem. If you have your medical card, you will literally get catered to. The last time I paid for an eighth, man, I'm so spoiled living here, I don't even remember, man.
And
I'm getting eighths for literally $25.
And that
$30. And guess what? If I want edibles, I can get it. If I want transdermal patches, I get it. And I don't have to drive in a sketchy neighborhood and have to conversate with somebody I don't want to. And I can get a receipt when I, need to. There's no sketchiness and shadiness. And that's what you're paying for if you're an out of towner. And you know what? God bless you if you were raised in California. But it's not California. It's not North California. You know what I'm saying? I know people there. I understand, but it's the industry's in its infancy. We're evolving. There's a lot of people with money right now that want to get their return of investment. Okay, enough said with that. So the community will speak in due time. But right now,
And that's another thing I want to chime in on.
That leads right to the shortage.
Yes.
That high pricing.
Yes, we got the shortage. The pricing is coming in, and now another thing that you said was the medical card.
I said a lot.
The medical card, and that's just a side note here. This is one of my messages I'm moving forward with, especially after July 1st, for the medical card. If you want to get the right prices that work for your budget, go for the medical card or doctor's recommendation. We accept them from anywhere in the world, as I understand it.
And they deliver, people. Right now, they don't deliver. If you're recreational, I'm telling you, you're the bottom of the barrel, If you're a medical patient, and, shout out to Euphoria Wellness, because they take care of me, straight up. I might as well be, an employee there. I'm a regular. They come to my house, and I don't have to worry about the recreation. I don't have to worry about any of this. Talking about the media and stuff. That doesn't even entertain me right now. Because I did, like you said, the due diligence. And I need this. And I use it, responsibly. Because that's what it is. Recreationally, whatever. But I'm a responsible adult. I should have access regardless. But
responsible adult use. That's another thing I keep saying. Responsible adult use.
I need to stay with the same topic. I keep on jumping around.
No, it's good.
But the shortage.
The shortage. Okay, so back to the shortage.
The prices aren't that bad if there's going to be a shortage, right?
And really, I think the prices are as high as they are because they knew the shortage was already coming.
Oh, there you go. That's a smart business move.
That's just supply and demand right there.
Yeah.
There was anticipation about the shortage. If you go over to the Puff and Run Facebook page, you will see a live stream video on our timeline of from the last Budtender Fight Club that took place, the most previous one, and that was when Las Vegas cannabis activist Jason Sturtsman, he was talking about, telling all the medical patients, be prepared because there may be a shortage. So you want to make sure you purchase your medicine because once recreational opens up, just be prepared for a shortage. So he was, foreshadowing that, giving, letting people know in advance. So that's how I had the inside track because I was at Budtender Fight Club. Shout out to Budtender Fight Club. The next one is coming up here in July. And I would tell you guys the exact date, which we're going to post a link. We're going to link it up, but I got all the flyers in my car so I can pass them out. So I don't know the exact date, but it's coming. Oh, no, I do know it because I'm going to be out of town. It's July 23rd.
Boom.
July 23rd, Budtender Fight Club. It's going to be on a Sunday. All the Budtender Fight Clubs are on Sundays. And what it is educational series. And they bring in different speakers from the industry, bringing all kind of information. It's pretty advanced, you know what I mean? Like I said, we find out about the shortage way before July 1st, So, if you guys get a chance, go on Facebook to Budtender Fight Club. And if you're in Las Vegas on July 23rd, it's only $20 if you sign up in advance. Costs more, I think, if you come in at the door. But they've been selling out, and you guys want to check it out, Budtender Fight Club.
Very cool.
But yeah, so the shortage, I'm waiting for stuff to run out. Do you guys think it's gonna run out, or what's gonna happen now?
Who knows? I think they gotta keep that money coming in. So I think they'll figure it out. Because I think a lot of my understanding, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of that shortage is because they can't move the product from the grow to the dispensary.
Yeah, the distribution aspect
There's
of it.
a lot of politics.
That's what you're talking about. So if you guys want to know more about that, on the Las Vegas Review Journal came out with an article that explains that. Just go to the Pot News tab, and it's going to talk about the distribution part, moving it from one location to the other, and some little quandaries that are coming up there. It's not that like the bud is all gone. It's all
No, it's just getting it there from the grow to the dispensary.
Yeah.
And who gets to transport it? How much?
The distribution aspect of it, and so the alcohol and all that stuff, guys.
It's a whole
We're gonna have to work this out, but this is the way things work. It's gonna slow things up, but it can't stop the show.
And understand
not stopping the show.
The shortage makes you think about being sustainable on your own. So if you think about cultivating for yourself, growing your own, I think you need to do that. You watch a couple YouTube videos, put it next to the tomatoes, and do your damn thing, because in due time it's not going to be so cool. And there's going to be people that have jalapenos, basil, cannabis, and tomatoes all in the same, raised grow bed.
Yeah.
So get advanced, get ahead of the curve, start, chipping away at that. But yeah, the shortage is, I don't know. I think a lot of it, they made it themselves, with the politics and all that. But I think another good reason why this is happening is that they need more cultivation sites. Right now, the people that have cultivation sites, they earned it. But there's going to be a lot of mom and pops coming up. A lot of small shops, you might be able to go to, Chinatown or behind the Rio area and get, a different type of hash than you get down in the east side of Vegas. It's going to be a collective cultivation, if you will. And that's where it's headed. It's just that in a matter of time, you cannot, outlaw nature. You know what I'm saying? It's just very difficult.
I like that.
For long.
It's not long, because it's going to grow through the concrete.
Yeah.
The rose is going to creep through the walls.
Yes, it is.
So you gotta, it's sparking, and they're only doing this stuff. You're sparking more growers. You're sparking more people that are saying, all right, I don't want to depend on the dispensaries for my medicine or my recreational or whatever the reason is. You're an adult, you're whatever. So then, that should give you the initiative. Like, all right, I'm gonna pop a seed. Because now's the time. Now's the time. It's just starting. Like I said, it's the genesis of this shit.
Yeah.
It's germinating for my cultivators. We're in the propagation of this stuff.
Yeah.
But it is. It sucks about the shortage though. But
I don't think that'll last for long though.
No, it
once
won't.
they kind of hammer out some of the
I think they've already
political
adjusted.
stuff and
They've already, like I said, they already saw this coming. That's why a lot of the dispensaries bought a lot, majority of the inventory. They knew it was coming. So that means the wave kept on rippling, and more people adjusted. So we don't know what's going to come online in the next 2 years. There might be a grip of grow, green light, permaculture techniques, and a grip of Jungle Boy type of hydroponic techniques, and a grip of CO2 extracts and waxes and topicals. Yeah, it's over. But
yeah. Now, with that being said, that brings me to the next topic of the DUI. You guys, I know we got an extremely low DUI here. I mean, what do you guys think about that? Yeah, well,
I followed. I think the DUI is kind of like, and my neighbor, he used to work for the DEA. All right,
okay.
And the fact that he doesn't know anything about cannabis scares me, because he is, and I'm not trying to, downplay anybody in law enforcement or, first responder, any of that stuff. But you got to know what you're doing. If you're gonna bust somebody for marijuana, whatever, cannabis, pot, dope, whatever you want to call it. You have to understand what you're testing, so I think you're under influence, you know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, I'm under the influence and you're going to test me, and obviously I'm going to show a positive because it's in my fat. Yeah. I'm a smoker, but I didn't just rip the bong. My tolerance level's way high, so you have to accommodate that. And the fact that, you're just trying to find a reason, and I understand it's about the kids. I understand that. But if it's about the kids, then why aren't you doing the necessary research and development to understand? You see what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to just, that's what they tell me to do. No, it should be in the, in the law, in the curriculum. You know what I mean?
The training.
One thing that I can address is that my boy is a Metro cop, and I don't want to shout his name out, but I know one thing, just because they smell cannabis, marijuana, whatever, it's not suspicion to pull you out the car and, do what they're going to do. So that's a level like, all right, thank God, But I still think, damn, like on the bottom line, DUI, I don't know. That's not science-based.
Because they can't
It's not science-based. Yeah, I hear what you're saying because, like I said, it's safety and all that. But if it's about the safety, come on. This is Las Vegas. More people get killed crossing the streets than, come on now. Come on now. It gets stupid here.
Shout out to all the pedestrians.
Yeah.
Please
be
look
safe.
both ways before you cross the
And
street.
make eye contact.
Yeah.
You gotta look. You gotta really look.
We know it's hot. The asphalt's high. You gotta get to the next AC
It's dangerous
destination.
out here. Bikers, anybody on a bike, anybody out running, you gotta watch your P's and Q's. That's another reason why I like the trail. Get away from the cars.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
Very good point. I like that.
That's true.
But I just don't agree. I think the DUI, we could just do better. So if you're gonna have a DUI, all right, what because I understand if my grandma, eats a 100 milligram brownie and then rips a wax dab and then tries to get in a vehicle, I understand. But you get my same granny and you get her mad tired, she's gonna drive the same, honestly. So I'm just saying, you need to I don't know what the word is, but you need to quantify it. There you go.
Yeah.
It needs to be numerical. When you pop on a alcohol test, it's a numerical number. And it's tested that alcohol, it defers your motor skills. You cannot, function right. But that is quantifiable. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yep.
The marijuana, they haven't even done enough research on it to even say that it's a DUI.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any way you should be able to be penalized for something that can't even be proven.
Yeah.
Right. So hopefully, moving forward, maybe we'll make some changes to increase it. You know what I mean? The nanogram limit is extremely low.
Nanogram,
yeah, the nanograms, like 2 nanograms per milliliter. You know what I mean? Which is like, that's gonna be in your system pretty much at all times if you're a daily user. You know what I mean? And so it's not really fair, I don't think, and especially if you don't use it for a few days, but it's still gonna be there, so we definitely want to look more into that.
They get smart. Good idea. Good idea, just bad initiative.
Good idea. They gotta not just increase it, but like you said, do more research and stuff.
Do your research.
You know what I'm saying? I haven't known anybody as of yet. I guess I'm trying to think. Do I know any cannabis people that got DUI for that? You guys?
No, I don't know.
Yeah. So let's keep our finger on that. And if we hear about any cannabis people that get a DUI, we don't have to report that.
Hopefully nobody gets a cannabis DUI. For real. That is just...
No. That is important, though. I mean, we need to
As soon as those lights hit, you're sober.
We need to report this stuff. You know what? I think we need to look this stuff up. I might, if there's any researchers out there that want to team up with the squad, little things like that we could have people look into some research on how many cannabis DUIs came in this month and stuff like that. We are looking for a production assistance for the show and stuff like that. Just want to throw that out there. And another thing, lastly, just with the public use, what do you guys? Because have you smelled it? Have you seen it?
Man.
What do people think? Are they doing
all
it?
Downtown.
All
Over downtown.
That's why I think it's funny. Like, you cannot outlaw nature. People are gonna do it anyways. So you can do your best. You could ride on horses.
Yeah.
You can literally get in one single line and just try to clear out, but people are gonna do it.
Yeah.
I just think that now it's recreational. It's just easier to get quality regulated, herb or wax or pins or whatever you have, and go out to Fremont Street Experiments, Toke, and go back and play some blackjack and have a cocktail and do adult shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I smell it. I went to reggae in the desert.
Oh well, of course. Come on.
But I'm gonna tell you right now.
Every year,
I've been
that.
every year for about 6 years, solid. That's just what my wife and I do. You know what I'm saying? That's our little getaway. But this year was like, holy shit. Is everybody smoking right now? There was like, I don't know. The whole venue was one big cloud of cannabis. You know what I mean? and I just don't remember it ever being that. Like, I used to smoke, and I'm not gonna lie, because you're right.
Yeah.
Everybody smokes. That's almost a given.
Yeah.
But this time it felt like it was turned up. Like you were showing off.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna smoke a blunt every song. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get Caribbean jerk chicken and come back every time they're switching out bands.
Yeah.
You know, but
oh wow, man, that sounds amazing.
It was. I had a great time. I love Reggae in the Desert. I really.
I think you just convinced me. I might go there next year. I've always wanted to go.
I'll be there. I'm always on the grass. You know, I set up with my little blanket. You know, I bring a little water.
I'm there, man.
You know, and then reggae music and herb. Come on, man. Just shut up. You know, eat some food and relax. Hit the blunt.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, now I hear they're gonna start like having public use tickets.
I was gonna say this. Sorry to cut you off, but social clubs, I think, is the next thing.
They have legislation in the works already. You can apply for a permit, like concert venues and stuff. Because everybody smokes in there anyway, so then it'll be. You don't have to, sneak your joints.
You have to have a place to go. You have to have a place to go.
You can't give it to people and then expect them to just hold it, be so covert.
They can't use it in their hotel room. Yeah, right. They can't take it back out of town with them.
Right.
What?
And you eat an edible and you're tripping. You're just in your hotel room, you know?
So, I mean,
I think it should be like cigarettes. Anywhere that you can smoke a cigarette, you should be able to smoke a joint.
I like the way you think. I really like the way you think.
I mean, I don't like the smell of cigarettes, but I understand that if I'm outside, someone's going to be smoking a cigarette.
Exactly.
Like same exact thing.
I totally agree.
With your Marlboro Reds,
I know I'm gonna catch some flack for this. I totally agree.
Are we? Well, let me add on to the flack, because the Vape Nation dudes, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, vape.
Like, yo, chill with the vaping. Like, I get it, you're smoking. But you're literally hitting a freaking modem. Like, you have like an old school computer. It's just got different, stages and scales and software in that thing. Yeah, for real.
Yes.
So it should be regular with that.
So, and now, in order, like you're saying, I want to make this announcement here on this episode. Like you're saying, it should be like cigarettes. It should be like cigarettes.
I say it should be like.
I do plan on, hopefully, I'm anticipating a public use ticket, that I'll be posting on Instagram later this year. So I want to just give you guys a heads up now. Be on the lookout for that. Right. I'm going to be posting my very first public use ticket on on my Instagram.
What is a public? I don't even know.
For smoking in public, then you get the $600 ticket.
Oh, I see.
Oh, like you're giving out tickets.
No.
You're gonna get a ticket.
Yeah, I get a ticket.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man.
And I'm gonna post it on Instagram, and
That's crazy.
So, but yeah, so that's the thing that's coming out. The tickets, they're gonna be giving public use tickets, is what I'm hearing. Like, but I think
I mean, like I said, you can't unlock. So if I go to Mount Charleston, and I'm just a Vegas boy, I don't know who your listeners are, but if I'm a Vegas boy, and I go to Mount Charleston, and I go to Mary Jane Trails, I'm gonna hike that trail, obviously.
Well, I'm not talking about out in the middle of nowhere. I'm talking about
like in the city, like
at Smith's, where you're smoking a cigarette and the cop rolls up, but it's a joint and you're just blazing it, right?
Or the bus stop.
Your bus stop, or you know what I mean? At McDonald's, I'm talking about, just you're out in public and then the cop is
I totally agree. If you're smoking a cigarette or you're doing the vape and stuff, then absolutely. It should be under inhalation.
Exactly.
But if you're inhaling, substances that make you act stupid,
Go privately. Go privately.
Especially if you're in public.
Go do that shit behind the bush, please.
I don't know. Public use, I don't know. That's almost, like I said, it's a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? It almost hurts my brain to even think
about it.
It's on
its way. You can't stop it. It's coming. Yeah. It's coming. So yeah, I just wanted to chime in on that. Those are some of the topics. Is there anything that stands out in your guys' mind since July 1st, or anything that you guys noticed? I mean, there was they said some astronomical amount of money that they made.
Yeah, it was like over $1 million in just tax revenue the first day, something like that.
It's astronomical amount.
For real though, like on a straight, like, I don't know, as a son to mom to dad, like, my parents are baby boomers. So I get a chance to literally, take them, hold their hand, and say, hey, you get a receipt for this. You know what I'm saying? There's no cops. There's nothing. They're black folks. So this is nothing. Like, when I talk about this, it's almost like you gotta get quiet, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta chill out. But that's the thing. Times have changed. And the fact that they have access to in this day in their life, you know, and literally, if you're a baby boom right now, if anybody needs to consume cannabis, your ass needs to consume cannabis. You've been working for 30 years solid right now. It's 2017. So you literally been doing something for 30 years. You got ailments because you're on the way down. I mean,
damn.
I'm sorry. Hey, that's life. You're gonna die. So if you don't understand that, then you're kind of lost in the sauce. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But the bottom line is, you gotta experience life. You gotta do. You know, you gotta live. And if you like, and I hate to bring it up, but my parents, you know, my mother, she's got MS, and she does what the doctor says. So basically, she's got Walgreens in her cabinet, and I'm trying to introduce her to be like, yo, this is what you need to do right here. And the way she get, you know, the net that she gets to fall on is priceless. You know, like I said, it's this whole industry kind of like hit a note where I was like, oh shit, this is like, my grandma can come here, you know, my dad can come here, my friends that kind of, you know your friends that kind of frown upon this, whatever, they can come here and get educated. They can get intellectual, you know, properties to tell their friends, yo, I went to a fucking dispensary. This shit was dope. They got suppositories for sex. You're like, what the hell? But see, that's what I'm saying. You wouldn't even think about that if you go look at the full spectrum of cannabis consumption and stop thinking about Cheech and Chong, which I don't. But like I said, if you're a baby boomer, you're either thinking about prison time or Cheech and Chong. You know what I'm saying? Or Snoop Dogg, you know what I'm saying? You ain't really thinking about an architect or an engineer, right, or, you know,
a public relationships,
athletes,
podcast hosts,
fathers,
a cancer patient. You know?
Cancer, yeah. So I don't know. That's what I saw. That's my takeaway.
Yeah. So, well, it's been.
What about you? What'd you take away after July 1st? Anything kind of, you know, anything shift for you? You know.
Well, fortunately, I took heed of the warning, and I tried to like put a little bit away so I wouldn't have to go there because I knew the lines are gonna be long and stuff.
Trying to smoke it all right now.
And I knew the lines were long. I saw the lines were long for days, and first few days there was always, because I drive around the city a lot, so I would notice there was people standing outside of these places, these dispensaries, you know, for the next few days after July 1st and stuff. Not only that, all the tourists I work with, I would begin to ask them stuff about, you know, their thoughts and their opinions and stuff, what they purchased, how much the price was and stuff like that, and just kind of get their feedback on the whole thing. Some people that didn't know about it, you know what I'm saying? Only one older couple kind of complained about, you know, they smelled it everywhere and stuff like that on the strip. They wish they didn't come that weekend because
you know what else you smell on the strip?
Because
straight up, you know, and you know what else you can get on the strip? A card for a maid to be sent to your room.
Oh gosh.
By probably illegal.
Oh god.
I don't want to go in.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. I almost get upset when I hear about these moral police coming in.
Now that brings me to this right quick. I didn't think about this now.
Nope.
Have you guys seen the taxi cabs? They have the KYND Cannabis brand advertisements on the back of them.
I haven't seen that yet.
I haven't.
Yeah, they got the KYND with the cannabis and stuff, and that's the only brand I've seen on those taxis.
Well, I see it on billboards.
On the billboards, I've seen it. Yeah, on a bunch of billboards.
I couldn't believe that. But taxis.
Oh, and the radio too. Oh, we didn't talk about the radio commercials. Have you guys heard that?
No.
They got all these commercials on the radio now, even in Spanish.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
The Jardins, they got the Spanish one.
Oh, so are you saying they're advertising for rec though? Or medical?
Yeah.
For
and
rec?
then at the end it says you got to be over 21. You must be over the age of 21.
Where were we talking about?
Keep out of reach of children. Must be over the age of 21. It says that like in the fast talk at the end.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's on the radio now. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
It's amazing.
I get delivered, dude. Like
Euphoria Wellness, they got their commercial.
Oh, do they?
They say stick with the original. I think that's like the tagline or something.
I know they cater to veterans. I know Inyo does over here. You know, if you're a veteran, and you got your medical card and they don't cater to you, don't spend your money there. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Oh, and this is another thing that we want to be coming out with. As we wrap it up, this is the last thing here. I'm trying to compile a list of dispensaries that give medical patients priority. So I want to come up with a list so that all the medical patients can know these are the ones that you go to because this is where you get kind of priority over recreational. So, guys, if you're listening to this, and you two and anybody that's listening to this, we're trying to put together a list of dispensaries that give medical patients priority. So shoot me those to the inbox of the Puff and Run show or however you get in contact with me.
I know off the top, man, Essence does. The Source does. Like I said, Euphoria. Inyo does.
All right, cool, man. Yeah,
Oasis.
So check out those Oasis, Inyo, all of them. You know, shout out to Oasis.
You know what? Shout out to all the Budtenders out there, because some of y'all, I know some of y'all are geeks about this stuff and want to talk my head off about terps and boiling points, and I get it, man. I get it. But shout out to you guys. You guys, I appreciate your service, straight up.
And last quick thing, I was at Oasis on July 1st, right at midnight. I was wondering, were you guys anywhere?
No, I was out of town.
Okay, you were out of town. Becky was out of town. Matthias 585.
I was at the house being a dad.
Okay, midnight on. Going.
I was probably passed out from
an
edible.
You were asleep. Oh, okay, from an edible. Okay, that counts. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you listening to this podcast. That's kind of the update from the 3 Degrees of Hell race that we all participated in, and hosted by Triple Dare Running Company. And check them out online and on social media. And then we talked about the July 1st and all the stuff that went down, from the shortage, the pricings, DUI, public use, etc. I'm going to be posting my first public use ticket on Instagram later this year.
Right.
And yeah, guys, we want to thank you for tuning in. I want to give a special shout out to Mr. Run to Improve, who couldn't be on the show this episode, but he will be coming back with us on the very next episode. I also want to give a shout out to Evergreen Organix for holding it down like no other, and sponsoring more runners on the 420 cross country team than any other cannabis business in the world. Okay, seriously now, across the globe, this is the single most active sponsor, really playing a part to destigmatize cannabis in the running community here in Southern Nevada. And we're changing perceptions. A lot of runners think you have to smoke it and get high, and that's where we let them know there's other ways to use it. You don't have to actually get high, and you don't have to smoke it, and so then their eyes are opened, and they can become consumers. Alright, guys, with that being said, we're signing off. I'm here with Becky, Matthias 585, and this is the Puff and Run TV podcast. And we're the front runners, and we're in it for the long run.